morning, everybody. Will here with Just in Time Prepping. Hey, kind of a different setting for us, huh? I just want to go into some stuff that I try not to talk about, but sometimes I just can't help myself. We are in some trying times right now in the United States, and it could be because we're about ready to go through some dire political changes. So what we have to do is we have to sit down as Americans and decide what we want to do. I, for one, don't want to be run by a bunch of politicians that are being puppets for other nations. So here we are. I'm just going to sit here. We're going to kind of have some coffee and we're going to talk about what I think we should be doing as a nation. Kind of overflows into what we do through our videos preparing for emergencies. I think that our country right now is in an emergency. They've got the special prosecutor coming in. I guess it's an investigator. And I truly approve of the one they picked, Mueller, however you want to pronounce his name. He's going to be a terrific investigator for us. He used to be in the FBI. He straightened out our FBI when it was needed before. So they couldn't have picked a better person to be the special investigator. You know, I don't know what's going on with Trump. I know that he's not doing the best job for our country. I know he came into power, making some promises of how he was going to create jobs and drain the swamp, and he was going to do all these big things, but he's been in office over 100 days. He really hasn't gotten anything done, and you can disagree with me if you want. That's your prerogative, but as for me, I don't see him doing anything positive. Most presidents, when they take office, they do a lot of things in their first 100 days, and he wasn't able to get anything done because he was too busy hiding something that he's got hidden from us. I'm not sure what it is, but he has something that he doesn't want the American people to know, and that's going to be his downfall. And you can see from now, if you watched the TV yesterday, you can see where he was in that, giving a speech to the Coast Guard Academy. And instead of giving them a heave-ho speech, he was more or less, woe is me. And I don't think that's what their parents were really looking for, you know, of those young people that were just graduating from the Coast Guard Academy. I mean, the president's supposed to be there giving them support and telling them how easy it's going to be for them to create whatever future that they want, you know. But instead he went and he was talking about his issues, and it was all about him. And every time he gives a speech, I've noticed, it's always, he starts out good, but it always comes back to about him. And that's one thing I don't like about Donald Trump, is that he starts out pretty good but it always ends up being about him. And that kind of is concerning, you know. Most presidents are humble. They don't talk about themselves and how good they've been doing or anything. They try to support the American people and make everything about America, not about themselves. So that's one thing that really concerns me. Another thing that concerns me is this issue he has with Russia. Russia has always been our, I guess, arch enemy. That's probably not the correct way of saying it, but it has been our arch enemy, and he just can't seem to let them go. He can't put Vladimir Putin down. He can't keep pushing against them to keep them in line or anything. He more or less backs them, and that that's another concern of mine. We live in the United States of America, and as Americans, we know that Russia has always wanted to do nothing but disrupt our way of life. I guess they're jealous, or maybe they want to take us over and have us do what they do in their country. If you do any reading or research, you know that they have those oligarchs, or whatever it is in Russia, and those are the rich people there, and they have more of those. They have those guys, but they have more people than those guys, and those guys have the most money. And, you know, when they have the most money, what they do is they take that money and they hide it somewhere so that Putin can't get a hold of it. So what they do is they come over here into our United States and they buy houses and property and businesses, and they hide their money here so that Putin doesn't have control of it. So also Russia has agents that come over here and turn our people against us. They make them traitor of their own country. I think that's what's happening. Excuse me. I think that's what's happening with Michael Flynn. I think that he started out with good intentions, but that's what Russia does, is they take a person, they kind of nurture them into being what they want, giving them money, you know, making them feel good about themselves, and then all of a sudden they have them in their clutches, you know. They go, well, if you don't do what we say, we're going to turn you into your government. You're going to be going down as a traitor. So I think that's basically what they did for Michael Flynn. And I'm not really sure, but I think they did something like that for our President Trump also. I can't prove it, and our government so far can't prove it, but that's what I believe is going on. I believe that somehow they have something on President Trump that keeps him from doing his job here in the United States as president. And I think it's nobody's problem but his. If you really think about it, all these problems have arisen just from him. He tries to do good, but he just destroys everything he tries. Even in business, you know, he won't turn over his tax records to us. And I believe that's because it's going to show that he is in bed with Russia, and he doesn't really want nobody to know that. That doesn't say too much for his children, because he turned his business over to his children, and they, in turn, are in bed with Russia as well. And the one child of his, Eric, he can't keep his mouth shut, and he keeps saying that his family doesn't need any of America's money, that they get most of their money from Russia. So as you can see, things are kind of snowballing here, and he's starting to really feel the pressure of Washington and the American people. We're getting tired of him telling us one thing and doing another. So therefore, it brings me to where we're at right now, talking to you guys about what's going on in our country, and telling you that this is the time that we should really be preparing, because we are in deep trouble. I mean, deep trouble. If we don't start putting stuff back together and being the great nation that we are, we're going to be ruled by somebody else, Putin or another country, Iran or something like that. And it's not really what I want. I don't want my family or my kids to grow up like that either. And all they've been doing is trying to take away our health care, trying to make the taxes so that all the taxes go to the rich people and to the Trumps. And, you know, I don't know what kind of spell he has over his base, but I don't understand to this day why people that have no money want to have a dream thinking that those kind of people are going to make them better than what they are. And it's not going to work. It's just not going to work. I'm sorry. You can like it if you want, or you can not like it. I don't care, because it's just the way it is. I really have deep concerns. I don't understand why all the poor people in the United States have nothing or are losing more every day continue to be in the Republican Party, because anybody in the Republican Party, all they ever want is more, and they don't want to give back. Well, we are a strong country, and we're built on immigration. Most everybody here are immigrants. If you look back into your family heritage, it is going to show you that somewhere along the line, either your parents' parents or your parents' parents' parents, they came to this country from somewhere else. And yes, I agree that if you're going to come here, you need to do it the right way. Don't get me wrong. I think that's a positive thing there. But there are other ways of taking care of the immigrant problem other than sending ICE out to go house to house and dragging people into jail and deporting them back to their countries before they know the whole story about that person. So I could go on, but I just want to tell you guys today that we need to wake up as a country. We need to pull together. I don't care if you're black or white or yellow or brown or whatever, but we need to pull together as a country, as we always have, and we need to make sure that this doesn't happen. And the best way for that not to happen is to, I'm sorry to say this, but to get rid of the president that we elected and his cronies, such as Jeff Sessions and this new guy he brought on board, Clark, and try to come together and be strong. We haven't been together as a strong nation for a while. It has become I don't know how to put it, but we're becoming more divided. Trump and his people are not working to make us a stronger nation. They are dividing us so that we fight amongst each other and hate each other. And it's just not going to work out that way for me. I mean, I've lost a lot of friends over this, and I don't care what they say anymore. All I care about is bringing our country back together and making us a strong nation. So I want you guys to think about that, because if you don't, better start getting your shit together and preparing to go to war either with North Korea or Russia or someone like that, because we are not going to allow ourselves to be put in that position of fighting amongst each other. I myself am a veteran, and I went to war even though I didn't believe in it. I went to war anyway because I'm an American. I believe that we need to stay together as Americans. And for us to have a divided nation is not what was meant to be in the Constitution. We need to come together, Republicans, Democrats, Independents, whatever. We need to come together as one, get rid of the riffraff, and go on about our lives. We can make this nation strong again. I know we can. I know that you can work together and make it right. So that's where I'm at today, boys and girls. I'm just telling you my feelings and what I think. I'm glad we have a special prosecutor. I'm glad he's going to get to the bottom of it. And I'm glad that the American people are finally going to get some closure. Because we need to come together as a nation, and that's not happening. So I'm telling you, go over to your neighbors and say, hey, I don't care what you are, Democrat or Republican, let's get our shit together. Let's go out there and let's create a strong United States of America. So that's all I have. I mean, it's just a rant more or less, but you know what? We can do this. We can do this because that's how we were bred. We were actually bred to get along and create a stronger country. With the people that we have in office right now, that's not happening. They are dividing us even more, creating more problems, and we can solve the problems we have simply by coming together as a nation. So that's all I have. I want you guys to think about what I've said. I want you guys to make some comments down below. I want you guys to hit the thumbs up button for all channels that have to do with preparedness. And I want you to hit the subscribe button if you haven't. And then I have one more big thing I need you to do. I need you to come together as a nation, regardless of your affiliations. And then I want you guys to share all the videos with your friends. All of them. Not mine, not just mine, but all preparedness videos. Give us all a thumbs up. Subscribe to as many as you want. And let's do this. Let's show the politicians in Washington, D.C. that we as Americans can come together and make this happen. Okay, I'll leave some stuff down below, other places I'm hanging out at. Don't forget, thumbs up, make comment, pull together as a nation. Love you guys. I'll catch you next time.